Hi everyone. Hi. All right. So what is today's theme? Um, by the way, for Kuromi. Hi. Um, Today I wanted to talk about something I already mentioned, like pretty heavily, you could say, in another video, the laws versus morals one. Um, and basically, I say very in very much depth, you could say. I don't know how laws are oftentimes useless, and they're based off the wrong ideas, and kind of they don't make sense and all of that. Today I wanted to talk about why politics also has the same problem as laws. And I think I also mentioned it in that video, like how politics doesn't make sense, but I definitely didn't talk about it uh, like precisely with precision. I don't know, and so I wanted to talk about that today. So um, first of all, I wanted to complain about about something, of course, and um, you know, uh, politics is kind of this topic where today so many people are kind of ignoring it and dropping out of it, and uh and I don't really know how to what to think of this, but um it feels like very often there are people that um don't care about politics, and like they try to be cool and all about it in this. No, not like they want to be cool in front of you by saying like, I don't care about politics. Now I might agree with you, and I'll explain why later, but the reason why is really important. Now, uh, a lot of people say, like, I don't care about politics because there nothing ever changes anyway, and like, I don't know, it just doesn't really or like the voting part, like they say I'm not gonna vote because it doesn't matter, nothing matters anyway. And because of this, you hear a lot of people saying, well, if you do, you complain about stuff, do you not like stuff that happens in this world? Well, if you do, meaning if you don't like stuff, then not voting uh is like really stupid, because um, you don't want to solve the problem. Basically, you don't even try to solve the problem. You complain that things go bad, and then you refuse to solve the problem, and that's really stupid. Now, that is a good argument, that is like a good response when people like don't vote and don't apply themselves in politics based off of nothing really, just that they don't like it and they don't want to uh, like stress themselves, I guess, to solve the problems. And by the way, they're totally free to do that. Like saying that it's like that it doesn't make sense to not vote and then complain about problems is true, but insulting someone for it is not true, and like being annoying about it is not cool. It is not nice. So uh, everyone can, of course, do whatever they want, uh, but like personally, I don't care at all about politics, and I don't really care that much about voting also. And so when I saw some videos like this, it kind of pissed me off, because it felt accusing to me, and since it made sense, I had to find like a reason why my choice makes sense. And the reason my choice makes sense is simply because I believe that the whole politics thing does not make sense at all. Like, I truly believe that I wouldn't even need to vote for anything because things will just happen, and it's really apparent that if you just use 5% of your brain, you can figure out that in most situations the correct answer is one. Like, there is no need to say left and right. We believe like that. No, we believe like that. 99% of things are like have one answer, meaning uh, if you believe like the left, you may be wrong, and if you believe like the right, you may be right, and then in something else is the opposite. So uh, basically, there is no need to two separate parties. I don't know, to various different opinions, because 99% of the time the solution is simple, and it's really easy to like figure out. And now you might say that's not possible. There's so many problems, there's so many unsolved problems that are in this world. There are so many issues, how can you have a solution for all of them? And reason why, and I don't have a solution to all of them. And now you may be saying, why? What are you saying? What? You just said you have a solution. Why are you telling me now that you don't have a solution? Well, because guess what? A solid like 80 to 90% of problems are dumb and useless and should not exist in the first place. Now, I'm you could say I'm a really big fan of like blaming the existence of the problem itself instead of the of like blaming the solutions of the problem being bad, because simply like there are some problems that like, how did it even happen in the first place? How is that possible, like, at all? And when you have problems that shouldn't exist, then the solutions are most likely going to be bad, and there's most likely not going to be one solution for everything. Someone is going to be mad, someone is going to be happy about it, because the problem doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to happen in the first place. Now, we are in 2026, right? We have enough technological progress where I'm allowed to say that. Maybe 100 years ago, people were too hungry and there was, kind of too lacking technology to say something like this, because suddenly there's so many problems that don't depend on humans directly that exist, and there aren't great solutions about it. But now those kinds of problems are so little, like um, like natural disasters uh, and accidents, stuff that isn't supposed to happen, but it just happens because of bad luck. Like, think about all the problems that afflict today's society, and think about how many of them are caused by bad luck and how many of them are caused by humans ourselves. You will not find many ones caused by bad luck, like almost zero, because most of the problems are caused by ourselves. Now, I'm not. This is the video where I like explain every single uh, solution to problems. I guess maybe that's for another time because it would be pretty long. But I'm not basically here to tell what's my solution to most problems. I'm here to tell basically politics doesn't matter, because mm, basically all the problems that politics is supposed to solve. Politics is basically like people with different opinions about something get together and trying to find the solution that is best for most people, for the majority, right? And this could work like with very, I don't know, with problems that aren't really, like fucking salary about people, or like it should be about specific rules about, I don't know, like let's say you want to um, establish, I don't know, an identification pass, basically your ID. Then you come up and you say, okay, let's create an ID that makes sense, and you add all the information, and you add the system to get the ID, and you add a register that has everyone listed in it. Like those are the kinds of problems that it doesn't really even affect politics that much. It just affects people that would need to do this, and that's it. That there's no need to complicate complicate it that much, But then you have problems like I yeah, like the where I don't know if I want to say this. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So the thing about minimum salary, right? Minimum wage, that's called. Yes. Uh, to me, it just does not make sense why minimum wage should not exist. First of all, and it doesn't make sense why it would be obviously like incredibly low. It needs to exist, and it needs to exist to a level where it's acceptable, right? It's the minimum acceptable pay for anyone for any job ever, right? Per hour. And there are gonna be people saying, "Oh, but it's like it's hard with economy, it's hard with money, it's like there won't be enough money. It's difficult because some people don't want it." If some people don't want it, they don't have an opinion. They're stupid. Like, there are situations where things are just good for everyone, except the ones that are being idiots. Idiots being evil and not nice and like greedy and all of that, right? Who doesn't want minimum wage? The people owning businesses that want to save money, they want all the money that they can. Now, maybe there are situations where a business would like you're the business owner and suddenly you like have problems if there's minimum wage, right? Well, guess whose job it is? The government or any entity that takes care of this stuff. It will say, okay, you have problems, we are going to help you, we are going to provide money until you need it. Or if your thing goes bad, you just close the business and you start working somewhere else. And if things work, and if things properly work, there is job, there is minimum wage, so you can earn money, earn a decent amount of money, and live decently. Like the reasons, there aren't problems, there aren't so many problems. And then you say, okay, where do you get the money to pay people, or like to pay for jobs and all of that? Think about how much money, how many resources are wasted, completely wasted on stuff that doesn't matter, that is useless to our survival and our like living better, our entertainment, you can say. Everything about war, everything about war is completely thrown away. That's one of them. Then you have everything regarding useless political, like mm, political things, having to pay people to take care of stuff that doesn't matter, having to pay for papers that don't matter, having to pay to, to take care of those kinds of stuff. That's more money wasted. Then you have every single person that earns an extraordinarily high amount of money. That's money wasted. Every single one of them. Because to survive and to live nice and to even live a great life, past a certain point, that's just money wasted for you to like throw it away with useless stuff. Like at that point, that's all wasted. That's money that could have given, that could have solved the problem. That's another source of money. Then you have everything about security, everything about police, everything about like uh, those kinds of making sure humans are not idiots kind of things. So imagine how less you have to pay people, because now suddenly all the money for police officers is way less, because way less police officers are needed. They would be needed for like actual accidents, a car accident, I don't know, like taking care of traffic, like those kind of stuff. And suddenly so fewer people are needed for that. And now you might say, well, if people lose their job, isn't that bad? Well, less people that do a useless job, the more people that can do a useful job, like farming, for food, for the thing we need to live, or uh, like building stuff, or building energy stuff for energy, right? The energy problem is a very big problem, and that's one of those problems that is like doesn't have an immediate solution. It's kind of those natural problems, right? Energy is not you could say energy doesn't grow trees, right? So you have to find a solution, right? Well, if you have the money, if you have the people, and if you want to truly, and if you do things correctly, then the energy problem is pretty easily solvable. You build so many things of renewable energy. You don't have like uh people having billions of dollars in oil stuff, because the oil is actually used, and it's not used to like manipulate shit or like sell it for profit, right. You actually use it for energy for everyone. Then you have if you waste less money on useless stuff, you can invest more money in like research, and suddenly you have like fusion reaction. And that is not a thing yet, but I'm not a chemist or a scientist or an engineer or all of that, right? But I truly believe that if in the last like 20 years, the like more funds were given to stuff like uh, nuclear reactor for about nuclear fusion, then I'm not saying we would have it already, but it would be way closer. Like maybe a 5 year advantage, 10 years even. And that's another problem that you can solve if you actually take care of what matters and don't waste resources in stuff that doesn't matter. Now, of course, in our world, unfortunately, that's not possible at all. If you remove police, people are just going to commit way more crimes, way many more crimes, right? If you remove security system from stuff, people are going to steal, and people are going to break into things and break stuff and all of that. And this falls into the category of problems caused by people being stupid, because like just don't steal, maybe don't kill people, don't break into people's houses. And even like the people that need to, because they're starving and all of that, if people didn't do that, guess what, there is a very very good chance that the government will be able to help people like that, and there wouldn't be homeless people that need to break into people's houses to just survive, and don't need to steal, and don't need to kill others, and don't need to all of the black market and like mafia and drugs and stuff like that. That's so much resources that go to waste on useless shit. And and this is basically like uh you know when you don't waste stuff on useless stuff, you have way more than you think. Try to think of all of the all the money and resources that is spent on only preventing humans doing like stupid shit, right? Think about how many things there are like that. And you have like cybersecurity and people and companies needing to spend so much money on making sure that websites are safe, that people can't hack into them, that people don't get hacked because this website wasn't safe and you logged in and your account is stolen. Like there's so much stuff. And you know, this to me basically says like if people didn't act stupidly, then politics is just not needed. And I feel like that's good enough of a reason to justify me not caring about politics, because to me it just shouldn't exist in the first place. Now, if they're like, if I have to vote on something like that kind of matters, right? It's something that I care about and it's something that makes sense and I want to be able, and I want that to be a reality. Now, I live in this world, unfortunately, and everyone else does, right? So if that happens, then yes, I probably will contribute my vote and all of that, right? But caring about what happens in the world, caring about politics, caring about like parties and all of that, like that's not, that's just too much. Like I don't care at all about politics because it shouldn't exist. And then you ask me to actually be, you know, knowing the news and all that, like that's way too much. And I don't care what people think or whatever. I think my idea makes total sense. Like, uh, if people thought about it, actually, they would probably figure out the same. Like, politics is not needed for human survival, you know? And so me not caring about it because of this idea, I feel like makes enough sense, right? And it really pissed me off seeing that video. Like uh it was what really pissed me off is like it was from someone that I think they're funny and all of that, right? They do funny videos and all that, but then they said something like the kind of skit. Oh, I don't want to vote uh, because nothing ever gets solved and the world sucks anyway. And then they say something like, "Well, if you don't vote, how the fuck are you gonna solve problems and all of that, right?" And it really pissed me off because just if you no, it wasn't strictly about voting, although that's also a thing. It was about also like caring about politics and all of that. Oh, I don't care about politics because it's very dumb and people are evil. Like, and they said something like, yeah, why if you don't care, like our problem is going to be solved and all that. And it really pissed me off saying it, because I'm confident in my ideas, right? And I really don't want to be wrong. Now, I am glad, you could say, if someone proves me wrong, but I'm concerned if someone says I'm wrong. Like, I need to prove them I'm not, right? Now, if they can prove to me that I'm wrong, then all good, and I'll have you. I said this like in the intro video. If people and if you prove me wrong about something with like a comment and all of that, I will genuinely you have huge respect for you and stuff, because changing my mind is hard and making me more knowledgeable is hard, or like more, I don't know what to say it. So if you manage to do that, like huge respect for you, like totally. And this is not me flexing and all that, like, oh, I'm so smart, I'm so genius. Now this is generally like I would really appreciate it if in any video, in any topic ever, you say, okay, about this idea, you're totally wrong. Here's why, and I prove you wrong. Like that would be very unexpected, honestly, and it probably won't happen. Like talking honestly, uh, but maybe maybe it happens. Like the whole topic of one of my videos is just kind of wrong, and you prove to me that I'm wrong, and so. But if you say I'm wrong and you don't prove it, that really like makes me kind of annoyed and kind of competitive in a way, because suddenly I need to prove to you that I'm right. And so like when I saw that video, I went like, okay, why exactly am I allowed to not care about politics? And I got this idea and I want to talk about it today. That's basically the lore about it. So um I hope you can agree, maybe, hopefully. uh I hope like this isn't too revolutionary. It probably is, but um I hope like something I said at least made sense and you can agree with it. And of course, as always, if you have some other ideas, tell them. I'll be, I'll be, happy at least if you tell them to me. But I'll be very happy if they're like alternative ideas or ideas I've never heard before. That would be really, really cool. So bye bye from Kuromi, and she, like I said last time, she's actually the queen in my ideal world. So no need for politics when there's a supreme leader, right? Um, Definitely. So bye bye from Kuromi, bye bye from me. Have a good day, night, or afternoon, or whatever. Bye 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 bye.